Good afternoon, everyone. Daniel here from Single Malt Jack, and welcome back to the channel. By an overwhelming demand, I'm sitting back here next to my fireman cousin Steve. So I know you guys, I'm basically just giving you guys what you want. We just had an overwhelming response on the last episode, so we're back with a regular segment now, beer reviews by the fire. Welcome, Steve.
Thanks for having me again. I really appreciate the good response that it's received. Always happy to have you here. Always happy to get the fire going and have a chat about these wonderful beers.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We're sitting here by the fire. We've got two cracking beers in front of us. So while we're having a chat about it, I'm just going to crack them open, and we'll crack open first the Stone and Wood. So we got one of these each. We're going to give it a pour and have a bit of a chat about them. As you can see, Steve's got the fire going. He's looking fantastic, and he's just carved for us this afternoon this beautiful table. I mean, last time we didn't have a table and we were struggling, but like, tell us about this table, Steve. Like, there has to be a story behind it.
Looking for props around the place. I always have a few things handy. Having the fireplace going fairly regularly. We've got a bit of lumber laying around. This thing we cut down a few years ago, so it was ripe and ready to go into the fire, but it's been utilised today for our bench. So we just took a slab off the top very quickly before this episode to come up with this little beer table as we have at the moment. It was pretty quick and easy, and it looks pretty good actually.
Well, Steve, I think it looks fantastic, and you've done a great job. So a regular beer segment deserves its own regular beer table, and look at the way everything sits on this table. It's fantastic. If you guys like it, give us a like and a thumbs up if you like Steve's crafty work. So crafty table for a few craft beers. So I've just poured this Stone and Wood, as you can see here.
Thank you.
Get into that, Steve, and let us know what you think. So this is from a little brewery, Stone and Wood Brewery down in Byron Bay, down in that region. I think they've opened up a few different areas since then, but basically it's a Pacific ale. Quite sort of fruity flavours. The percentage isn't too high, 4.4%. So it's only just over one standard drink in this bottle, 1.1 standard drink. So it's quite a nice fruity summer beer. Definitely tropical fruits. It's basically been inspired by the Pacific Ocean. What do you think about that? I mean, it pours pretty light. Good amount of head on it. It's quite fruity, tropical fruits. Do you think it's a good representation of the local area that we're in?
Yeah, absolutely. It's got a light feel to it. In the mouth, it's a nice light palate. Not too strong flavours. I find the fruitiness just enough to give it that little bit of a punch. It's nice. It's quite easy to drink. Yeah.
I agree. I mean, for a crafty beer, I think that's quite a nice light summer pale ale, or Pacific ale. That's what they call it. I think it's a really good representation of I guess northern New South Wales. I mean, we're on the Gold Coast, so we're not too far away. So I guess we can't really call it a Queensland beer. We were sort of hoping to go for a bit of a theme between Queensland and New South Wales, but close enough. I mean, they're only just over the border. So anyway, this other beer that we're looking at, Steve. Look, I know you haven't tried this Four Pines. Well, actually, no, we had a couple before this episode.
Yeah.
And just to give you sort of taste buds going on it, and you actually thought this was an okay beer. So I'm going to pour this one. Four Pines Brewery is from Manly in Sydney, and what we're going to do is just compare the two. I mean, they're both quite well respected pale ales, and Steve and I are just going to give you our opinion on both of them. So I'll crack this one open. I just want to see how it pours. We're going to be double parked here, but that's okay.
And if you don't mind, Daniel, I just want to let the viewers know that I may have told you last time that I'm more of a commercial beer drinker. So doing these craft beers is a bit off the edge for me, but it's
Yeah,
nice.
no, like I
nice
appreciate it.
to try new things. Yeah.
I mean, I definitely appreciate your view, your point of view, and you know, you're basically a fantastic representation of the typical Australian population. So I think these beer reviews are just absolutely fantastic. So we're just going to pour another one here, and as you can see from this pour, I'll put this beer bottle over here. The difference in colour between the two is just astronomical. So, you know, for a pale ale, you can definitely see the Pacific Ale from Stone and Wood is what I would probably typically call a pale ale. But the one from Manly, the Four Pines Brewing Pale Ale, is quite dark. I mean, it's like a pilsner or a almost not quite a red ale, but it's quite dark. So have a crack at this one, Steve, and see what you reckon.
Okay.
You know, once again, I think it pours pretty well. Good amount of head. You know, I like the bubbles coming out. It's quite nice.
I don't know about you, but I don't know if it's coming straight from the other one, but that tastes like honey. Did you get that?
Yeah, definitely. Like a honey sort of maple type flavour. For me, if I was going to explain it, this one would be more sort of orchard type fruits. You know, so like your apples, you know, red apples. You know, maybe not so much pears, but maybe sort of like a red style peach. And you get kind of that nectar honey style flavour out of it. You know, a little bit more malty than the other beer that we tried. But you know, for me, I think this is a cracking beer. I think Four Pines have done an absolutely great job. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I find it a little, as far as craft beer goes, that's quite refreshing. Yeah, that maple aftertaste is actually not bad. I don't mind it.
I mean, it's not too bitter. And are you surprised? I mean, the reason why I wanted to have these plastic cups here, I know it. Okay, it's not the classiest things, but I wanted to show you how the beers pour and also the colour difference between these two beers. So they're both classed as basically pale ales, but are you surprised at the colour difference?
Oh,
like
absolutely.
You wouldn't really notice that out of the bottle, would you?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And as a commercial drinker, not really into the craft beer, does it make a huge difference to me? Not really. Like I said before, getting into the craft beer movement, I think it's more about getting in touch with your community rather than, you know, getting into a beer for the flavour and all that kind of stuff. Because as a commercial drinker, I like a lighter, crisper beer. Obviously, price has got a bit to do with it, but I'm all for supporting our community and getting into the local breweries, finding something you like and really getting on board. Yeah.
I agree, and one of the things that I haven't told you, Steve, is that one of these beers features in the top 50 beers, and it's actually number 2. Okay, and the other one of these beers doesn't feature at all. It's nowhere to be seen. I don't even know what number it is, but this is judged by sort of the typical Australian public in the beer reviews. So what I didn't tell you is that Stone and Wood is actually the second most popular beer, or the second rated beer in Australia, and Four Pines is, I don't know, nowhere to be seen. So, you know, what do you think about that? I mean, if you had to rate the two, what you know, do you agree? Do you not agree? I mean, what's your point of view?
Yeah, I kind of prefer the Four Pines, to be honest.
I agree.
Again, I don't go with the grain. I'm against the grain.
Yeah.
I don't mind giving my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't have to join the crowd. I prefer the Four Pines. Not to say that the Stone and Wood's not a relatively nice beer for a craft beer.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm a commercial beer drinker. More lighter, crisper flavours. These ones are a bit heavier for my liking as a consumer. But I appreciate the different flavours. I love getting on here with the cousin and having a few words to say. Yeah, look, I can see where Stone and Wood are coming from, having a light, crisper flavour with that
And the tropical
the
fruits.
tropicalness.
Yeah.
I can see where they're coming from.
And I enjoy that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I'm going to tell you this honestly.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot more Stone and Wood in a commercial aspect, as I've not really seen the Four Pines around. So whether that's a marketing thing, who knows? Is Stone and Wood getting a bit more commercial, so they get a bit more tasted from the community? Is that how you get your ratings?
Maybe it's a
up there?
location thing because they're closer to the Gold Coast, and Four Pines is from Sydney, from Manly.
Yeah.
Look,
maybe.
I don't know, but both cracking beers, and a bit of a shout out to Four Pines. I think you guys have done a great job. Shout out to Stone and Wood. I just wanted to basically point out today they're both pale ales. One features second top beer, the other one doesn't feature at all. We seem to think the Four Pines is, tastes better from, an everyday Australian beer drinker. Slightly higher alcohol percentage, I think that's 5.1, so 1.3 standard drinks. But good on them. I think they've brewed a really good beer. So, thanks guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed this little episode. We're going to sit here by the fire and enjoy another couple of these, maybe another one of each. Hope you really like the table. This will be featuring again in the next episode. And thanks for your time again, Steve. Appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks for having me. Thanks everyone for liking Daniel's page. It's really great. So I get on board. Yeah, it's great.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.